Hello there. This time I'm going to showcase my collection of Jo Malone um, cologne. And it's actually the only brand that I stick to, and I've been using it for 10 years or 12 years. And if I like the scent, I stick to it. But it's always nice to try out new scents. But I always end up going back to Jo Malone. I did a review on my newest fragrance last week, which was the Tuile de Hermes. But Jo Malone is the love of my life. And I've never even heard of this brand until I think that was so many years ago when I went to Aventura Neiman Marcus, and I went to get my Louis Vuitton handbag, and right next to that was in Bloomingdale's, and right next to the Louis Vuitton shop was the fragrance shop. So I tried them on, and I like it. So that's when I was first introduced to Jo Malone. I was like, who's Jo Malone? But anyway, I could stomach it because since I got pregnant, I've mentioned in the other video that I have become very sensitive to smells. I can't stand up people wearing strong perfumes, or I would literally get nauseous. And when I enter a bathroom that has a smell, a fruity freshener, I would gag, and I would be like literally I have to hold my breath. And I've mentioned all those on my first review, ever first perfume review last week. But anyway, right now I have my Jo Malone bottles here. I've thrown away the other boxes, but I've kept some. And yeah, so here it is. Here they are. And my favorite scent so far is the Blackberry and Bay. I have 3 of them. Okay. This one is almost full. The other one is completely diminished or depleted. And the other one is my tiny pocket. It was a sample. It's not a sample, but it was like a free goodie when you buy a perfume worth $150 and all that. Okay, so I first smelled this. I think they came out 2 years ago. I am not really sure, but the Blackberry and Bay, I first smelled it when I went to Saks Fifth in Barney's, New York. In New York, I was just there to with my cousin. I had to renew my visa over there, and I spent the whole summer there with my kids. And I went to Saks Fifth, and that's when I bought my very first Blackberry and Bay. Oh, I have actually 4 bottles. Okay. And I bought it in the small size because I said, of course, I want to try it on. And if it's okay, then I'll keep on buying it. And I fell in love with it. That's why I have 3 more. And of course, once that one is finished, I'm going to get another one because it's my favorite scent. It's I love it. I can't describe it, but it's very fruity. Not that overwhelming or overpowering fruity, but I just love the scent. I cannot describe the scent. If you want, you can actually go to Jo Malone, and they will list all the ingredients there, because it's very hard to associate it with a particular scent. And yeah, it's Blackberry and Bay. I love this. It's like when I did my first perfume review last week, I just emphasized the my body's response to the scent, because I'm very sensitive. I get allergies, I get sneezing or something like that. So it was more of my body's response to those scents. But I featured the newest Hermes Tuile. Is actually, I got the biggest perfume bottle, and I really don't know what to do with this. I think I'm going to list it, and um, I'm going to sell it and get the new Jo Malone London scent, which is this hazel oak, because I already have the red currant, because I don't think this is working for me. I find it very powdery, and it's powdery, and it's a bit strong, and I have to mention again and again, time and again, that I am very, very, very sensitive to smells. But I love the bottle, I love the packaging, and all that. I may have to sell that. Okay, and of course this is my travel size, and I also have samples here. I used to have like probably a box full of samples, because I would ask them to give me samples, and they would give me loads, especially if you go to Neiman Marcus. I always go to Neiman Marcus because they're not stingy over there. They'll give you, especially if you buy, they'll give you a lot. And they're pretty good. But there are several locations when I went to Boca Raton, that big mall over there. They're just like, if you ask for a sample, they just give you one. And I said, I want to try this, but I don't want to come across like, hey, I'm asking for a freebie. It's just that I want to sample this first before I get another one. Of course, they have different scents, so you want to try them on. Anyway, the Jo Malone scent that made me very, very sick was the basil. I think it was the basil. And when I when I sprayed that on, when I went to bed, I was like, I had a headache. I didn't want it. So that was just nasty. It's just nasty, nasty fragrance for me. I know that there's a lot of you who love the basil Jo Malone, but I'm sorry, it doesn't work for me. Okay, and then Nectarine Blossom was the very, very first one that I smelled in Bloomingdale's, and I said, okay, I like it. It's very subtle. I love it. So that was my very, very first, very memorable bottle. And then I also like grapefruit because it's subtle. And of course, colognes are supposed to be subtle because they're colognes. And when I was a kid, my favorite cologne was the Spanish Nanuco. And when I started working on ships, I would buy the gallons, not gallons, but by the liter Nanuco on Denone, and I would be spraying them all over my linen sheets on the ship. And that was just very, very funny because when they come to my room, it would smell of Nanuco. And I just love it. Okay, that's why I love colognes and I don't like perfumes much unless, Okay, so cologne. And then the latest scent that they have is the English Oak and Red Currant cologne. Okay, so when I saw the magazine sample, of course, I smelled it. I peeled it off and I said, okay, I like it. But I had to go to Neiman Marcus to actually smell it. And I said that I want because they came up with 2 fragrances that was released, I think, this May. It's called the Red Currant, English Oak and Red Currant. And the other one is English Oak and Hazelnut. So I sprayed them on me, and my husband said he likes this better. But I said I like the hazelnut better. I don't know, maybe because I love, not Ferrero Rocher, but I love Nutella. Nutella, if that even makes sense. Okay, I just love the sweet smell. And this is why our marriage works, because I told him, order me the hazelnut. And he gets me exactly the opposite. So, because he said to me, if I'm going to buy you something, then I should be able to benefit from it too. Well, I like you better smelling like this. So, whatever. But anyway, that's my second conquest. So after this, I'm going to buy another, I'm going to buy the hazelnut. And I like the Tiffany perfume too, although I haven't smelled that, but I've read good reviews. But so let me see, okay, about that. So, excuse me. And okay, the only downside is they're very expensive. And to think, I do not understand they're only colognes, okay? It's just a cologne. It's not even or the toilet or the parfum, and they are expensive. So that's the only downside. If, let's say, because colognes, when you buy a Nanuko cologne, it's like $5 or $10, but this one is just crazy. It's $135 plus tax. So I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so that's the only problem, but I love, love, love it. And yeah, so Jo Malone actually is a British brand, and it was she actually worked for not worked, but she actually um, worked for not I don't no, no, no. She didn't work for, but that was the very first time she did was a collaboration with Estee Lauder, and then after that she established her own company, and that was I think in 1996. But she used to like make her own concoction when she was in her teens. She loves flowers and everything about scents. And okay, so there you go. So I have different samples here, and the thing is, I always go back to my favorite. It's like my housemate, my friend. She will always wear Gucci. She's been wearing Gucci's for years, and she has like probably 10 Gucci boxes unused for her. And it was like she will never change her. You could smell her from a mile away, once she comes home from the garage, that it's her because you could smell her, the Gucci. But anyway, Jo Malone, yeah, as I was saying, I do not understand why it's very, very expensive, but of course, um it's because of probably the ingredients that they put in there, and of course how they make it and all that makes it expensive. But I was just wondering why, compared to the perfumes that are, the thing is, the differences of perfumes, or the level is that it's in the amount of oils in the fragrance. So the highest concentration will go in the pure perfume, and then, or they call it the parfum, and then the eau de toilette, and then the eau de cologne. So this has the lowest concentration, and yet it's very, very expensive. But anyway, it's a British brand. And I told my in-laws, because they're British, that I love Jo Malone, and they said to me, "Oh, it's very, very expensive." So there. And I think I have sold some of my samples because I just had too many samples and I didn't like the scent. I would only keep the scents that I like and bring them with me whenever I travel. So yeah, so why do I like Jo Malone? Because it's tolerable for me. And it's not because it's Jo Malone. It's because I love the scent. It's subtle, fruity, citrusy, that kind of smell. And but the only downside is its price. So everybody who owns Jo Malone would, agree to that. And they also have candles that are really, really overpriced. And I think I've never bought their candles actually, because I don't like smells in the house like that, because it affects I think your air conditioning system. I don't know, but I don't like incense, or I don't like those things in the house. I can wear perfume, but not that, or cologne. And then um what was I supposed to mention? Okay, so the one thing they said, that Jo Malone is supposed to be mixed, and you mix and mash and then create your own fragrance, right? You can layer them on top of the other. Why would I do that? Okay, why would I do that when they're very expensive? Because when I spray like 4 or 5 sprays of this cologne, and then I'm not gonna layer it with more sprays. Otherwise, it's I would have zero by the end of the by the end of the month, and I don't like that. And the thing is, once I like that particular scent, I would like to like showcase it or display it, or just use it on its own, and I don't want to layer it with anything else, because price point again, it's expensive. And no, I don't like to do my own concoction. Unless this was the Bath and Body Works, then I can probably spray the whole house with it, and down to the curtains and everything, because that's what I used to do. I would buy when they have their sale. I would get some and then just spray it on the garbage, the garbage can. So it would emit a nice smell. And yeah, that I can afford to waste. But this, no, my dear, I have to use it on its own, because I love it so much. And I only try to buy once once it's completely finished. But yeah, so that's next on my wish list is the hazelnut. And oh, by the way, for those who have not seen my review on the Twilly, so they said this is for teenagers or young women. Well, I think, and I even got the biggest size, 2.87. Is eau de parfum. Okay, so this was only 135. So it's the same cost as this one, but this is 2.87. That's 3.4 ounces. So the Twilly, this is eau de parfum, and yeah, it has a powdery smell, so it's a bit granny-ish. If it has, once it dissipates or once it dries up, it has a powdery smell, so it still has a bit of granny smell. So there you go. So I might get the Tiffany perfume, but I think I have to try it out before I order it, because it might be the same thing. Well, I smelled this one on my magazine cover, magazine sample, and it was okay. It wasn't overpowering, but now I would only spray one or two, and I feel like it's too strong for me. So yeah, so there. So I am so in love with Jo Malone. Okay, so that's about it. Oh, this is a very lengthy video, and they were nice enough to give me. Sometimes, if you're friends with the clerks, I would just say clerks, and they would give you things like this. And sometimes you'll be on their mailing list, and they would send me email from time to time. Hello, this is your clerk Cici, blah blah. Or was it Kiki? Or she spoke with a Russian accent, but she was nice. And yeah, but I like going to those stores, and that would give me more samples than just one. How stingy of them, and expect you to buy that. Okay, all right, so there you go. Okay, bye.